Hey everybody, I wanted to basically make a quick video for you and talk about the numerical methods midterm. And so let's get started. I know a lot of you have questions about how it's all going to work this summer. So first off, I would like you to please make sure that you respond to the survey. I sent everyone a survey online, and you should respond to that, basically just asking you where you want to take the exam and how you want to take it. I know there's a few of you that need to take it off campus. Some of you are going to take it in Fort Walton Beach. Some of you are going to take it at that need a SAR exam. And if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. But I need you to respond to that survey. So I should have sent everyone an email that said, please fill out the survey that tells me where you want to take the exam, how you want to take it. That's really important that I get everyone to respond to that survey. I've gotten most people, but not everybody. Okay. And then schedule your exam ? If you're taking the exam in Fort Walton Beach, it needs to be scheduled. If you haven't filled out that survey, then I don't know if you're taking it in Fort Walton Beach. I've contacted people who have filled out the survey and told them that if they're at Fort Walton Beach, they need to schedule it. Also, if you're scheduling it because you need to take it with the SAR, you need to schedule that. Also, you need to schedule it if you're taking it obviously remotely at another campus, okay? And so all those things have to be scheduled, okay? If you're coming into Pensacola to take the exam, like I think most of you will do, in the date range given on the syllabus, then you're fine. I don't believe you'll need to schedule it. If you do somehow, I'll let you know, but those coming into Pensacola to take it during the normal date range given in the syllabus, which I think is June 24th through the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. I probably should have looked that up. I guess I could pull up the syllabus, but I'm almost sure it's June 24th through the 26th to schedule your exam then. All right, so let me talk a little bit about the exam. It's going to be 2 hours, okay? So you'll have 2 hours for the exam. That's the default. And it covers all of blocks 1 through 3. Now, you may have noticed in block 3, I have a little bit of information in one of the videos that talks about the exam. It says something like exam review. If you watch that, it might not be compatible to what I'm doing here. So make sure that this is really what you need to watch when it comes to the exam, okay? So just telling you that what we have here is the definitive word on the exam for summer 2019. All right, so exam covers all of blocks 1 through 3. You can bring any calculator, and there'll be an equation sheet provided, and I've already uploaded a sample exam to the e-learning site. And so if you look at the sample exam, the equation sheet is already there on the sample exam. So that's what you'll be provided with, that same equation sheet, okay? So let's talk a little bit about what's on the exam. These are the different topics that you definitely need to study for. That does not mean all of them are going to be on the exam. There's no way all of these are going to be on the exam. But I will tell you the first topic there, MATLAB or Excel, is guaranteed. And I always get a lot of questions about how are you going to test me in programming on an exam. Well, if you want to know how it's going to look, just look at the sample exam, because I have a sample of what it's going to look like, okay? Basically, it's going to be programming in reverse. Instead of you writing the code to achieve a certain output, I'm going to give you the code and you're going to tell me what the output is. Okay, that's pretty much it. And so if you want to know how that looks, make sure that you look at the sample exam. The other thing I want to mention about this, it's very important that you listen to this. When it comes to the programming, I want you to give me the output that the computer shows. Don't give me a paragraph of text. Okay, don't give me like, well, the computer says it's going to do this, and then it's going to do this, then it's going to take this. Don't give me that. Just pretend you're the computer and just give me the computer output. Don't give me a story about how the computer works. Just give me the output, okay? So you don't need to write a paragraph about what it's going to do. Don't do that. Make sure you just be the computer. You're the computer, and you're going to tell me how it's output. Now, if you need to have a little bit of notes on there just to explain a couple of things, that's fine. A little bit of that's fine, but do not just write a paragraph. Okay. So MATLAB or Excel is guaranteed. Now, be careful. Note there's the or. Okay. You can solve the problem in MATLAB or you can solve the problem in Excel. Don't do both. Okay. Don't do both because you don't have to, and I'm only going to grade one. Okay, I'll probably only grade the top one. Okay, so don't do both. And that is guaranteed to be on the final, on the midterm. By the way, there'll be 6 problems on the midterm. I don't know if it says that there. No. So 6 problems, and one of them will certainly be the MATLAB or Excel problem. The rest of the items there in the bulleted list are not guaranteed, but I will tell you a few hints. There's almost always, pretty much always, either a Newton-Raphson or a secant. I mean, that should be pretty easy for you. And there's almost always at least one of those, maybe both. When I say true error, approximate error, that's usually not a problem on its own. It's usually part of another problem. So you need to make sure you understand the difference between true error and approximate error. But you may not have a problem just on that subject alone. Okay, Taylor series might be part of a problem, might not be. Bisection method, definitely. Matrix algebra, you should be able to fairly easily multiply matrices, do inverses, things like that in your calculator, and I can ask different things related to that, similar to what you've done in homework. Okay, in all of these problems, you've done things like this in homework. The Newton-Raphson for the 2 nonlinear equations, you've done homework on this. It's in homework 3, and you've also the equations are in the equation sheet. Okay, Gauss elimination, Gauss-Seidel. That should definitely be stuff you've done before, and then there's also Newton's method for optimization and golden section. Okay, and I could have you even do Gauss elimination to come up with a matrix inverse. I don't know if you've done that in homework though, so maybe not. But definitely Gauss elimination, Gauss-Seidel. So those are definitely some things to study, and that should give you plenty of things to look at. One note too is make sure you do homeworks 1, 2, and 3 before you take the midterm. Okay, do all of homeworks 1, 2, and 3. Okay, obviously you probably have done 1 and 2, but make sure you do homework 3 before you take the midterm. So, how to study. Okay, first I want to mention to you there is going to be multiple versions of the exam. Okay, so you might talk to a friend that's in the class, and the friend might say, "Oh, I took the exam and I had this kind of problem and this kind of problem." Well, that doesn't mean you're going to get that. Okay, because of the students are taking this exam at different times. Okay, then I have to have different versions of the exam. So there's going to be several different versions of the exam. So you will not know what version you're going to get when you come to the midterm. Okay? How to study? Do problems. Make sure you do the homework. Make sure you're very comfortable in doing the practice exam, things like that. Make sure that you're comfortable doing all the different things that are covered in this bulleted list. Know the equations, know the process, and you'll be fine. Okay? If you know how to do these things, it's usually pretty easy. That's the best advice I can, is to keep doing problems. Okay. One more note I want to give you is that most of you are going to be taking the exam the last week of June. Okay. I'm going to be out of town that week, so I'm not going to be available to grade the exams. In fact, I'm also going to be out of town the first week of July. Okay, and so I'm not going to be able to grade the exam very quickly. Okay, so this really only applies to students who are thinking about dropping the class. So let's say you did really poorly, or you feel like you did really poorly on the exam, and you need me to grade it quickly so that you can consider dropping the class. I could probably do that or at least look at it and give you the best I can. If you need me to do that, to look at it quickly, just email me and say, look, I think I did poorly on the exam. I really need you to tell me because I might have to drop the class. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I appreciate your patience and the fact that the exams will take a little bit of time to get back to you because I'm going to be out of town. As soon as I get back in town, I'm going to work very hard to get them back to you as quickly as I can. Remember, there's also multiple versions of the exam, so it's going to take me a while to get it all together, but I'm going to do the best I can. So if you have any other questions related to the midterm, I hope you'll reach out, and I hope this video was helpful. Thank you.